Alright, so I thoroughly apologize for this shaky video. Just making it in my car real quick. This is the SPSS file that I created for the classroom, and I put everybody's data in. I'll actually upload a poster tonight of some interesting data that came from it. So you see here's all the raw data input in the D form. And to transform the data, you're going to come up here to transform. This very first item right here, you're just going to click on compute variable. And you see something like this come up here. And you can do all kinds of crazy things, use all kinds of different functions and things like that. In fact, you can come into here if you just click on all, or you can click on arithmetic. Go down to, you could just type this as well. This is just a way to point and click. But what you're going to want to do is sum. So if you double click on that, you get this thing that looks like this. It looks exactly like what you would see in Excel. And so you'll put your items in here. So for example, I wrote down on my little notes, harm care is D1, D7, and D12. So we come back over to sum. We're going to put in D1, D7, and D12. You could also click on it from here over in the variables. You could click on D1, but you can just type it in too. It doesn't really matter. And the target variable, this is what we want to name the variable. So this one was harm care. So we just give it a name, and that's it. Then we're just going to come down over to OK, hit OK. Oops, you can't have and SPSS doesn't really like you to have certain things in your variables. For example, it doesn't like you to have spaces or funky lines or anything like that. So we'll just name it harm care. That's right. So since I've already done this, it's going to have a thing. We're going to call this harm care 2, just so I can show you the example of it being created. So hit OK here. It runs it. And then we come back over to our data, and let's go see if it actually worked. Scroll all the way to the end, and as you can see, we now have a variable called harm care 2. And this variable should be exactly like the one that I created earlier. So actually, if we put them next to each other, I'm going to drag this over. Oops, that's not what I want to do. If we drag it over and put them right next to each other, you notice all the numbers are exactly the same as we go down. So if you want to try this out, it's going to be the same way. So for fairness, you're going to do the same thing, except with D2, D8, and D13. And so if you want to sort of check yourself to make sure that you're doing it right, you can sum up just one line together. For example, on harm care, since we're looking at D1, D7, and D12, so for the very top participant, we can just go to, we have D12 is 3, D7 is 3, so that's 6, and then we can assume that D1 is going to be 4. And oops, that's D3. And D1 is going to be 4, which it is. So that's just how you can fact check yourself to make sure that you did the summing correctly, or that you input everything correctly. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact me if you want more information. But it's, as you can see, it's pretty straightforward. Again, transform, compute variable, and then you're just going to input whatever name you want it to be, and then sum the variables that you want this new composite variable to be containing the items. And that's it.